What's going on, everybody? I am the Kilted Cajun, and welcome back to my channel. Thank you for joining me again. And today, whatever time you are watching this, because I'm recording it in the middle of the night because I'm an idiot. Anyway, I digress. We're going to talk about She-Hulk yet again, and a little bit extra, because in their infinite wisdom, yet again, the people responsible for entertainment just once again they announce that they hate you. They hate the fans. They try to say, "Oh, She-Hulk team explains the fourth wall breaking finale, which was trash, and delivering an FU to toxic Marvel trolls." Now, I'm pretty sure I've discussed this a couple of times before, but they like to equate criticism, any and all criticism, with toxicity. Like, if you don't like She-Hulk, you just don't want women writers. Like, well, if this is how you're going to write, then, well, you're correct. We don't want that. We want good writing. We want good stories. If you can accomplish that, whatever your dangly bits are, hey, do it. Do it. Come on, do it. But delivering a fuck you to toxic Marvel trolls. This is astounding. Throughout, She-Hulk attorney at law Jennifer Walters, aka She-Hulk Tatiana Maslany, repeatedly breaks the fourth wall, in a terrible way I might add, by not only directly addressing the camera, which is what fourth wall breaking is, but acknowledging that she exists in a Marvel Studios superhero TV show. Yep, did it in a piss poor way. In one episode, she tried to say, what was it? Oh, Wong's going to be here. Maybe that'll give us some Twitter armor for the next week. It didn't. Whose show is this? Not really sure with the number of cameos you had in there. We're kind of confused because even in the last episode, you sat there and complained about the cameos even though you were promoting the cameo. Like, the fourth wall breaking is just fucking trash. But to sit there and denigrate the fans over and over because they have criticism on all this. It is just, it's repugnant. Oh, that was talking about Kevin. Knowledge enhanced visual interconnectivity nexus. A sentient robot armed with, quote, the most advanced entertainment algorithm. So I have my extra thoughts about the last episode of She-Hulk. I thought the way it ended was appropriate to the comic book, but unfortunately, I don't know. I think you might. I don't think the fourth wall breaking in the comic book or not Daredevil. Wow, in Deadpool, it doesn't break the Marvel universe. It doesn't. A lot of people will disagree with me on that one. I've already seen numerous reviews that it talks about because of the last episode of it. It just completely destroys everything that came before it because it was all a simulation. It's like, no, you have to separate the fourth wall breaking characters and their ability to break the fourth wall. You have to separate that from the Marvel universe itself. Okay, regardless of whether or not they're able to do that in the other franchises, is mutually exclusive. Like, Deadpool goes around everywhere talking about, he breaks the fourth wall. It is stated that, the theory that Deadpool is the only Marvel character that was aware of Stan Lee's death. So that kind of made it depressing. But anyway, none of Deadpool's fourth wall breaking ever affected the universe and didn't destroy the universe or anything like that. So I think that's a little bit hyperbolic. But as far as, let's see, were you expecting to face... Now, here's the thing. In addition to breaking the fourth... Oh, fuck you. Where were you expecting to face the trolls when you signed on for the show? That's like, if you are expecting... Reading the script, it was so true. Like, you wrote a script to be intentionally garbage, to mess with people you're trying to get money from. This is the problem. Why not just make something good? Why not write an interesting story? What's wrong with that? That's all we want. Hollywood discovered, the nerd culture became mainstream, and now they're shocked when they discover that nerd culture is a bunch of people arguing over and over and over again about one variation of a character over another. We got this article from Bounding into Comics, what we could have had. I'm going to get back to that. I'm going to get back to that other article because I want to talk about. But this is, what we could have had. She-Hulk head writer Jessica Gao admits she almost quit the series over a disagreement with Kevin Feige. If only, imagine if Jessica Gao had not been the writer of this self-insert, just diary, whatever the hell She-Hulk was. It could have been so much better. They had an opportunity to be so much better, and they just, quitting over a single joke. Please, what could have been? Imagine there's an alternate timeline somewhere out there where Marvel is continuously an A-plus product, where She-Hulk TV show is beloved just like the comic book is. But hey, we get what we get. We get what we pay for. But my whole issue is this. You think, you think what you wrote was good and it was trash. You think that you're going after the toxic Marvel trolls when you're not. The problem here is, and I brought this up before, when you continuously insult someone who criticizes your work and you lump everyone in who doesn't like the show as a toxic troll or an isterophobe or whatever, regular people, just your average normie who doesn't really read the comics, but they want to watch the show because it's Marvel and they're looking for entertainment, and they see shit like this. They see the insults flying around all over the place. They're going to tune out. Or they're going to watch it and go, that was okay. It wasn't that great. I have some criticisms. And then they find out it's like, well, you're lumping everybody into being a troll and being a this and being a that. It's like, they're going to look at themselves. They're going to look in the mirror and go, wait a minute, I'm not like that. And I know you like to say, all these people like to say, well, what I said wasn't meant for you. But you said it. You painted a nice broad stroke over all the fans, the customers. You're insulting the customers when you make a generalized statement, painting such a broad stroke about when you make such a generalized statement covering a large spectrum of fans, people are going to tune out because they're not interested in your shit. They're not interested in your mouth. Anytime this kind of crap happens, the best thing you can do, like I've said before, tell people, hey, come watch my show. This could have been so much better. Come watch my show, judge it accordingly, and take the criticism, take what the fans have to say, and, take it as constructive criticism, not as some sort of dogpiling on your garbage show, because it's garbage. The writing was garbage. There was no consistency. I've said this over and over again. But anyway, what this all boils down to is what I said a minute ago. The nerd culture, whether it's D&D, Marvel, D&D, comics, anime, all that stuff. Hollywood, it became mainstream. It became more mainstream accepted. And the people who wanted to make money off of it didn't realize what kind of people we are. We're the kind of people that sit around with our friends or hang out in comic shops and gaming shops and all this other stuff, and we argue incessantly back and forth over shit like, can Superman beat Batman? What about Goku? We'll arguing that Full Metal Alchemist versus Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Which one was better? Which one had a better timeline, better storyline? Bring up things that are painful and hurtful. Talking about, is Todd McFarlane's version of Spider-Man as good as 10 years before it, as Stan Lee's version? And the arguments get heated. They're vulgar. They're insulting. They go back and forth, and then once the argument's done, they play a game, they read a comic, they recommend one or the other to another person, and they're still friends. However, we're living in an age where even the most minor insult is grounds for termination. You can't take the insults, you can't take the criticism, and you're finding out that the nerd culture is very passionate. We're not bigots. We're not istophobes or anything like that. We couldn't care less. Honestly, we could not care less who writes it, who directs it, what your dangly bits are, or anything like that. We just want good stories. We want something that sticks with the lore of our whatever it is we like, whether it's She-Hulk, whether it's Marvel, Deadpool, whether it's D&D, whether it's Tolkien, Harry Potter, whatever it is. Stick to the lore, respect what came before it, and move forward with a good story. That's all we've ever wanted, all we've ever asked for. That's why House of the Dragon is doing so good right now, and Tolkien and Rings of Power tanked hard. So maybe next time you want to try to adapt the show, make something entertaining. If you want to own people like me, people like Heels versus Babyface, Nerdrotic, all of them, you want to one-up them, make a show that's good and force them to say good things about it. These are situations where we would love to eat crow. We want to be wrong. We want to eat crow. We want to be handed the L when it comes to entertainment. Because giving us a loss, that means you did something good. You wrote something good. It was entertaining. It was interesting. And it gives us something to talk about. So how about that? That's a challenge. That's a challenge for Hollywood. I think anybody watching this, pass it on, pass it to everyone you know. Let's challenge Hollywood to actually write something good. That would be the own we're looking for. But let me know what you think. Am I fooling myself? Am I hopeful to think that Hollywood would actually listen and give us some interesting stories, like far more interesting stories than She-Hulk was? Because, God, there was no consistency in that. But let me know what you think in the comments. Leave a like. Leave a dislike if you so choose. If you made it this far, you still choose to leave a dislike. Thank you very much. I am fumbling over my damn words. It's after midnight. Have a good night. See you on the next one.